Now, we know attention moves in waves, and a skilled teacher rides them. We know attention has variables, even biological ones. So let's break down just one example to have a clear idea, and it's based on a 30-minute lesson for a 7-year-old. Now, our main goal is gaining our perspective as parents. It is the teacher's job to structure the lesson according to the student. What we have to do as parents is not interrupt a skilled teacher actually using their skills. A lot of times, it's actually the parent who inhibits a good lesson structure, not because they want to, but because they are basing their perception on patterns they are used to. Our own academic upbringing has a part of this. So some parents cut off the extra connecting conversation part, thinking the teacher is wasting time, or they get mad if they don't hear the kids reciting 30 minutes straight, thinking the teacher is being lazy, or another harmful, I'm not getting what I paid for. But in reality, a properly structured lesson, as we will mention, is where a child benefits, and Allah knows best. So a well-paced lesson has about 7 phases. One is variable. Each phase has a different cognitive shape and fits the cognitive abilities paired to the age and skill of the child. Phase 1 is the warm-up, and this lasts about 2 to 3 minutes. The teacher greets your child specifically. How's your new kitten? How's your tooth? How's the new little brother? Specific and personal. The child is being met as a person. When this phase is skipped and the lesson opens straight into recitation or straight into the lesson matter, the important teacher-child connection is missing. Think of the adorable videos of teachers standing outside the door to greet their incoming students. You see just a totally different aspect. It's like when they stand outside the door and they give them cool high fives, or it's a really nice thing to see. Phase 2 is the recall, which is about 3 to 5 minutes. So the teacher revisits the last session, not as a quiz or a drill, but as a refresh, and done with a playful, slightly challenging manner that makes the child want to be prepared for that moment, and in turn helping the child retain the information with purpose, inshallah. It can be so simple. Show me the letter we worked on, draw it on the screen, or mold it with Play-Doh. Let your favorite stuffed animal or toy recite the verse we ended with. This does pedagogy work most parents don't see. It consolidates last week or last lesson into long-term memory. When this phase is skipped, the new material lands harder and stays less. Phase 3 is new material, which is about 6 to 8 minutes in this case, the longest single phase, but still not very long. The teacher introduces a new letter, verse, or topic, models it, breaks it down, invites attempts. If a lesson stays in this mode for the full 30 minutes, it's structurally the same intense register from the start to the finish. The child's brain doesn't have the cognitive variety it needs to stay engaged. Phase 4, the reset, 30 seconds to a minute. Now, this is almost invisible to the untrained eye. One of the clearest markers of careful pacing. It can be any small change, a stretch, a drink of water, a short story about the meaning of the letter just learned, a moment of shared laughter. This is not wasted time. This is the moment the teacher buys back attention before the next phase. Without it, by minute 12, a child's brain has less to give. So watch for this. If you don't see one in 30 minutes, the lesson is asking for more sustained attention than the structure supports. Phase 5, practice. 5 to 7 minutes. This is another energy shift, and here the child does most of the work while the teacher coaches in short, targeted bursts. This is where learning actually happens. The child's brain is generating through action, not just receiving. Without practice, or when practice is very light, what the child is getting is mainly exposure, which does matter, but it's different from building active skill. And this is where the child strengthens neural pathways through neuroplasticity. Remember, we can't dismiss the physiological aspects of learning. Phase 6, the plus one, around 2 to 3 minutes. Now, this is variable, and the teacher's insight on the child will depend whether they include this. So, the +1 is one small thing beyond what the child can currently do. Just that little extra challenge at the end to brain boost before the lesson ends, and it is done with support from the teacher. It's like the growth edge of the lesson. So even without the +1, the lesson is solidifying what the child already knows, and that is valuable. So this is an extra that is dependent on the child. It could be a slightly harder verse, it could be a slightly difficult letter combination, or an advanced question that the child could answer using what he or she already knows. Phase 7, the close, which is around 2 to 3 minutes. So this phase could be around 5 minutes if the teacher doesn't choose a +1 for the child. And it's a simple closing step where the teacher names what was accomplished. If necessary, they give a specific assignment, not just practice your Qur'an, but read these specific 5 verses 3 times. A quick, what will you do for the rest of the day? Are you going anywhere this weekend? Do you have any questions? Then when it's time to completely close out the lesson, my favorite will always remain, and my biggest recommendation will always be to end with Kaffārat al-Majlis. So have it pop up on the screen exactly at the time that you want to say it with the child, which would be about 30 seconds before you're going to actually close the lesson. So the child knows it's the end and learns a valuable dua at the same time. So a deliberate close is brief but visible. So that is around 7 phases: warm up, recall, new material, reset, practice, +1, and close. Your assignment in your child's next lesson, see if you can identify 3 of the 7, just 3, and recognize your own bias. Are we allowing skilled teachers to actually teach? Below is a downloadable document that outlines what we discussed, including what is the best lesson length for your child's age. Subscribe and share, and see you in the next video. Insha'Allah. Barakallahu feekum.